Okay. You didn't tell me. Okay, you're good to go then.
It just happened, so here we go, guys. We're going to jump into this very first map. The very first map of this best of 3 series, of course, is in the Grand Arena. Of course. So here we go. We do see that Boomkin in party, so they are going to be running that Boomkin Mage RMPally composition. They're not going to be running that Godcomp as they were running yesterday. And then on Tony from the Bronx's team, we are going to see Lossa, Gossu, and Supatease running that turbo. So just like Supatease wanted, he's seeing another series of what he saw earlier on today. Here we go. So Supatease is confident going up against this Mage Boomkin RMPally team, though. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is going to be a hard matchup for both of these teams, I think. But all 6 of these players are quite good at their class and have proven themselves in past tournaments even. But not only that, but also on the ladder.
Yeah, we'll have to see what this turbo decides to do. I don't know what a good target for them is. Maybe I feel like they're not going to be able to really train Felorrea down, just letting Asbur and Mageiden do whatever they want. I just don't think that's something that will work out for them at all. They're going to have to shut down one of these DPS at least to prevent some of the incoming CC. But like I said, we'll have to see. Asbur immediately pushing in, trying to get some CC in. Mageiden also pushing in. Looks like the deep freeze is coming out onto Gossu right away. Supatease already popping that Nature's Vigil, trying to make his pots a little bit more powerful to counteract some of Asbur and Mageiden's initial pressure. So good job by him getting those initial hots rolling. The Iron Bar coming out onto Lossa right away before Supatease actually went into that polymorph. So once again, Supatease using those cooldowns preemptively to stop some of this incoming damage at the moment. And right now, both teams really haven't done too much.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Reckless's come out. We also saw Celestial Alignment come out from Asbur, but both teams just kind of stabilizing at this point. Asbur put into that Stormbolt Felorrea, still has a few more seconds to this Wings, keeping his team completely offensive, but his Turbo's doing a good job cleaving down Mageiden's pet. He did have to cast and bring out another one, and they're already attacking the pet again. Wow, they're constantly looking to keep those Rens up and everything like that, but Supatease now taking a whole bunch of damage in that Hodge. He's going to go ahead and Shadow Meld. Rallying Cry coming out from Lossa as well, and Barkskin being used, but he did get away from that without using his Trinket or his Nature Swiftness, but Mageiden now taking a whole bunch of pressure from this Blade Storm coming out from Lossa.
Yeah, absolutely. If we look, Felorrea still has every single one of his cooldowns available. Mageiden has both his blocks, but I think this is one of those matchups where if the Turbo is going to win, it's going to be in deep dampening. I don't see them really ending the game before that. So this Mage Boomkin has a lot of time to slowly work through these cooldowns and try to make something happen on Supatease. It looks like he is the target of choice for now. Getting out of that stun, only using Iron Bark on himself. He's going to have Barkskin back up in 15 seconds. Also having Trinket available. Lossa taking a little bit of damage. The Solar Beam coming out onto Gossu. He's just going to get out of that immediately. Supatease caught into a sheep right now, but Lossa is just piecing out behind the pillar, preventing any incoming CC from Asbur onto Supatease, and now Supatease is out of CC. Actually going to get locked on that cycle in there by Mageiden, and now Gossu in a lot of trouble because of that. Supatease caught into the deep freeze. Mageiden trying to get out the polymorphs here, but Lossa not letting him. And now Supatease is going to throw out all those Trents and get some heals onto Gossu, and he's going to be completely fine. Supatease still having his Trinket available.
Yeah, that was a good stop by Lossa to stop the CC chain coming out from Mageiden. Gossu's Shaman range is about to fall out. He could have been in some trouble there, but they're going to stabilize for now. Mageiden constantly trying to get his pet out as his warrior in this Enhancement Shaman are just annihilating every one of his pet. Now Asbur taking a bit of pressure. There's the full Hodge on a Gossu. He's going to Trinket right away. He doesn't want them to set up on him again. Mageiden constantly trying to get a polymorph, and he does. He lands a full polymorph onto Supatease, but Supatease preemptively Iron Barks Gossu there for this entire polymorph, and now the half polymorph comes out from Mageiden, and that Iron Bark's going to fade, but Gossu's going to run back behind the pillar with Supatease, so he's going to be completely fine for now. And this Mage Boomkin team just can't seem to find a good kill target, but they do get those Iron Barks and those Barkskins out from Supatease every time, but they're rotating through them quite well. Now Mageiden taking a whole bunch of pressure from this Turbo, just getting chunked down constantly, and I think his pet got killed once again.
Yeah, by killing that pet, it really prevents him from getting out as many Fingers of Frost, but now Supatease caught into that Deep Freeze, Ring of Frost, Mageiden popping that Icy Veins, trying to get out pressure. He doesn't have his pet ready to go, but Gossu's still taking a lot of damage. The Shaman coming out from him. He's trying to get out heals on himself. Mageiden getting counter pressured a little bit. Felorea does have those wings out. Supatease not in any more CC, and he's going to be able to top off Gossu. Lossa caught into the full sheep. Mageiden just trying to control the game by getting out as much CC as possible. The offensive clone coming out from Asbur onto Gossu, but this is recklessness coming out of Lossa right now. They want to make something happen onto Felorrea, but he's just pulling back behind the pillar. I don't know if Lossa can actually afford to do this. He's caught into the full Hodge. He has no trinket available. He's taking a lot of damage. Supatease caught into the full sheep. Lossa could, this overextending could cost Lossa his life, but Gossu's going to spam out those heals onto him, and Supatease is going to get out of that CC and be able to top him off, but that recklessness really not accomplishing too much there. Felorrea pulling him back and hodging him up really prevented any of his incoming damage.
Yeah, I mean, the kicks, the groundings, the mass spell reflex coming out from this team is really making a nightmare for Mageiden to land CC and the Supatease, but regardless, they're doing a good job. There's the beam going out onto Gossu, the full Hodge on the Lossa. I think they might actually want to set up onto him as Asbur is just kind of unloading onto him. Supatease, though, not in any CC just quite yet, and I mean, as we get deeper and deeper, I think the Turbo is going to actually get the advantage in dampening, and we're currently 5 minutes in at this point. Mageiden still the kill target from this Turbo, and it does stop a lot of the control from this team when they ride the Mage like they have been doing. But I don't know. I'm not sure what the best kill target is coming out from the Mage Boomkin team, but Supatease's team doing a great job. But as I say that, the full Hodge lands on the Lossa and the Polymorph on the Supatease. This is the setup they wanted, and there's the bash out of it, and Lossa could be in some trouble, and Die by the Sword is going to be forced out of that. Lossa actually getting cloned up at low health here at this point. If they have anything to follow it up onto Supatease, this could be the end of Lossa's life right here, right now. But Lossa's actually going to catch that Iron Bark from Supatease. Supatease avoiding the CC as best he can at this point, and Lossa's looks like he's going to be okay for now.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Gossu and Supatease both getting cross CC'd at that moment, but I mean, as scary as that was for Lossa, he just used his cooldowns, and Supatease and Gossu both didn't have to trinket. Looks like this Turbo is playing for the long game, dampening now, kicking in about a minute ago, so we're at around 5% dampening, and I think the only chance, like I was saying earlier, of this Turbo winning is just prolonging the game as much as possible, killing out the Water Elemental. They're just trying, they're just trying to live. Yeah. Basically, they're doing the best they can to live, using that Enhancement Shaman heals to their advantage, and once the game goes long enough, Felorea's mana could become an issue. It just gets really, really hard for a RMPally to start healing. But if this Mage Boomkin team is able to get out consistent pressure, they might be able to make something happen in dampening too. But Lossa, once again, killing the Water Elemental of Mageiden, and he just doesn't have a pet. It's just really hard as a Frost Mage to do your CC and get out your damage when you have no pet the entire game. So Lossa and Gossu and Supatease doing an excellent job controlling Mageiden that way. But really, look, as we can see, not too much is going on. This Turbo can't really hurt this team too much until healing just doesn't work. So it becomes difficult for them.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good though. Both teams stable for now, but dampening's getting deeper and deeper. Mageiden already forced the block, and he's going to cold snap right away. So that is an interesting trade up here, but we're at 12% dampening. As we get deeper and deeper, there's the full Polymorph onto Gossu. Supatease going into that full Hodge. Barkskin used right away. They want to set up on him. Celestial Alignment coming out from Asbur. This is Beam on top of Supatease. Could go down right here, right now. The bash on the Lossa. He can't peel. Nature Swiftness coming out from Supatease. He's trying to get out of line of sight. Mass Spell Reflect out of that. Looks like Supatease is going to be okay for now, but Mageiden now still on Hypothermia for just a few more seconds. He's going to be okay for now, catching that Execution sentence, and Hypothermia is going to fall as well. He should be okay, but that was a scary moment for Supatease, man. That was terrifying on the Solar Beam and everything, but Mageiden now is starting to feel the heat as we're at 16% dampening.
He finally got that Water Alley out, and they're trying to get some pressure on the Lossa, the Cyclone on the Gossu, the Sheep on the Supatease, but Lossa really not taking too much damage there. Mageiden still in a lot of trouble, deciding to pull back. He's completely he's not going to be able to throw out those spell steals, so he's going to retreat and try to get out some Frostbolt damage. But his pet is back there in the middle of the fight, and it's going to go down once again, executed by Lossa. So Mageiden not going to have another pet for another 40 seconds around there. And it's going to be hard, once again, for them to really do too much. But if we look, he does have his Frozen Orb out. They might try to make something happen on Supatease once again, but it looks like they're just going to try to CC him. Mageiden getting the full Deep Freeze Ring of Frost out onto Supatease. Gossu getting Cycloned. So the cross CC is very well done by this Mage Boomkin, but despite how much CC they have, it's really hard for them to land a kill onto Lossa, especially as a Frost Mage with no pet, like I was saying. Finally, he's able to summon that Water Elemental, but Gossu's going to connect onto him right away, immediately targeting the Water Elemental. It needs to stay out. Felorrea needs to try to heal it. He needs to run it away or something. It's dead once again, so for another minute, Mageiden's going to have no pet. This must be extremely frustrating for him. He needs to be more careful with it when he summons it. He needs to run it away or something because it's just dying instantly over and over. Just full Stormbolt onto Mageiden. Felorrea popping those wings, trying to top him off, spamming out the cast now. Gets the Holy Light, the Word of Glory. Supatease caught into the full Deep Freeze, full Sheep. Lossa getting hodged up there. The Comet Storm coming in from Mageiden, spamming out the Polymorph still onto Supatease and the Frostbolts. But Lossa, despite Supatease being CC'd there, comes out at 100% HP because of those Enhancement Shaman heals and the few hots that he did have. And the Mage Boomkin really just didn't have enough damage there to really force any cooldowns whatsoever.
Yeah, I wish that we had a Water Elemental kill count to see them getting racked up here, because they are relentless on that Water Ele, and it's working out in their favor quite a bit. Something else to note is Felorrea's mana. He's at 40% mana here, and Supatease at 75, and that's not a place you want to be in going into dampening. And we're at almost 30% dampening, but there's the full Polymorph onto Supatease. Lossa understands he is the kill target right here, so he is going to get around that pillar, but at full health, he's just going to charge back in and get offensive. Gossu now the kill target for this RMPally Boomkin. Mageiden now dipping down to 50% health here, and he does have a Water Elemental out right now. Gossu actually catching that Iron Bark. He should be okay for now. Felorrea desperately trying to help them out with that damage, spamming those denounces, but Mageiden now dipping again to 50% health here. Whenever this team connects, they do dip him quite low, but I believe they're killing the Water Elemental once again. But he's going to stay alive for now. Now Supatease into that Deep Freeze. They're setting up onto him, into the Hodge. He has Barkskin up on him, but he's going to go into that Solar Beam. Mass Butterfly coming out, but is that going to be enough? Supatease just trying to get away from this team. Mageiden, though, he wants to push in, but he's at 26% health here, getting caught by Saved by the Light, and he just can't continue to chase Supatease. Now Supatease is completely okay, and now at 34% dampening. Lossa now taking a bit of pressure from this Mage Boomkin team. The Stormbolt going out into Felorrea, the full Cyclone on to Asbur. Mageiden trying to get his pet back out. He does land another pet. Aura Mastery coming out from Felorrea, trying to keep his team offensive. The Deep Freeze goes out into Supa. The Hodge onto Lossa. They want to set up onto him. The full Polymorph lands onto Supatease. Lossa still dipping lower and lower, and the Die by the Sword's going to come out as well from Lossa. Now Mageiden on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Lossa having to pull back, though. He's scared as Supatease still is in that Cyclone. The cross AC coming out from this Mage Boomkin, but Mageiden getting really, really low. Felorrea having a hard time topping him off, having to spam out those heals, and mana could be an issue for Felorrea. Like we were saying, Asbur down to 50% HP, using that Barskin and just running away, and this Mage Boomkin team is forced to play ultra defensive. This is a nightmare for Felorrea to actually top him off. Asbur getting tunneled down now by Gossu and Lossa. He has no Barskin available, using that Shadow Meld to try to get away, but will it be enough? Down to 20% HP, it gets cycloned up by Supatease. If they can get any CC onto Felorrea, Asbur could go down. He's 1% away from execute range. The bop coming in from Felorrea. It's going to get purged off, though, right away by Gossu, but he is caught into that sheep right now. Mageiden just doing everything he can to keep his team alive. Mageiden getting swapped down to, once again, finally gets that Water Elemental out, but I don't even know if they're going to go for it at this point. Mageiden down to 50% HP. Felorrea blowing those wings. This is going to be his saving grace to try to top off his team. Supatease caught into that full Deep Freeze right now. The full Ring of Frost. He doesn't want any part of that. He's going to immediately Trinket, throw out those Trents, and keep his team offensive. They smell blood in the water at 43% dampening. Things are happening now against this Mage Boomkin team. Felorrea's mana down to 8%. He's going to have to get off a drink, and once these wings fade, it's going to be a nightmare once again for him to heal. We saw now he's pulling back, and he's going to try to get a drink off. Lossa and Gossu and Supatease need to stop this because he is sitting down. He's going to get a significant amount of mana now, but they're just doing an excellent job peeling for this Paladin who needs to get this mana. He got up to 67% mana. Now Supatease is actually the one who is in trouble. Caught into that Deep Freeze, the Mass Spellflow coming out from Lossa. Supatease has to pull back. His mana is going to be an issue as well. I mean, at 50% dampening, it's hard for any healer to heal this up, and I think if Mageiden, Asbur, and Felorrea just pull back and play safe and just try to get out as much damage as possible, it can be hard for Supatease to actually top off his team. But for now, this Turbo Cleave is all at 100% HP. Mageiden down to 50% HP. Let's see if he has a pet. It looks like it just got killed by Lossa through the execute onto the pet. And now, once again, Mageiden has no pet. so his offensive pressure isn't going to be that great. But the Frozen Orb coming out onto Supatease, the Deep Freeze, the Bash. Supatease doesn't have too much. If he can get the Iron Bark up, he might be okay. The Iron Bark NS coming out from Supatease. Now Mageiden's in a lot of trouble. Felorea caught into that Full Fury, into the Bash. Mageiden does have 2 blocks available. It's going to be really hard for Felorea to actually top him off here. Asbur's Bop is going to fade. Felorea now has the wings up once again, but if we look, this Turbo Cleave is on the back foot. Asbur doing so much damage to everyone right now. Lossa 33%, Supatease 50%, and Lossa could just die. The dive of the sword coming out. Felorea does have his wings up, so he should be able to keep his team stable for now. The Ore Mastery coming out. Hopefully be able to top off Mageiden, who pulls back to a defensive position, but Supatease's mana down to 18%, and he's having a really tough time picking up his team at the moment.
Yeah, he absolutely is, man. That drink was so important for Felorrea to get off, and he did land it. The Stormbolt going out onto Asbur now. The Hodge onto Lossa, Supatease in the Deep Freeze. This is the setup. They're just punching the damage into Lossa here. Supatease's mana at 8%. This team doesn't have much left. Both teams are just pushing in. I can't believe that this Mage Boomkin now is the aggressor against this Turbo at 56% damping. Lossa now at 34% health here. Gossu, oh wow, Supatease and Gossu being put into that Solar Beam. Lossa catching that Iron from Supatease, trying to prevent as much damage as possible. Even the Shaman range being used. I feel like these defensive cooldowns are just being used on cooldown at this point. But Mageiden dipping down to 30% health here. This is going to be a second block. Save of the Light already proc. He is going to be forced to use that block. Supatease just somehow, some way is making this 8% mana work for him. There's the Hodge on the Gossu. The full polymorph on the Supatease. Gossu getting so low at 21% health here. The Rallying Cry coming out on top of it. Supatease coming out of that polymorph right now is going to be able to heal up Gossu, but at 60% dampening. Mageiden now in trouble at 25% health here. Lossa still could end this, as Gossu did end up going down there. The Stormbolt going out, but it looks like for mecah somehow pulled out a win against Tony from the Bronx's Turbo.
This is a drink, but I mean, we look at that game, it was 60% dampening. The game was 5 minutes away from ending when that happened. I think that is the deepest in dampening we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Really showing the power of hybrids and their survivability in these particular matchups, absolutely. But
that drink, man, that was it.
Yeah, the drink won them the game 100%. If they didn't get that drink off, there's no way they could win.
Yeah.
So I think if they're in a position like that again, they need to push in. They need to be at least on the close pillar to Felorrea, so it's hard for him to get those drinks off. But there you go.
I think you're absolutely correct, man. They definitely had the advantage there, and they let Felorrea pull back and drink. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Turbo. I mean, a huge advantage Turbo Cleave has is Enhancement Shaman heals, and it's 60% dampening. Their heals really aren't that good. They're not that significant. No heals really are. Yeah. So they do lose that edge as well, and that's where CC becomes super valuable. A comp like Mage Boomkin has so much CC, and that's a mechanic that just isn't affected by dampening as the game goes on. It's just as powerful. So if they can rotate those out appropriately, they can get an edge.
Yeah, absolutely. As a rep paladin, I definitely feel my edge going away in dampening. Not only that, but my my hand abilities like bops and stuff like that, and sacrifices don't refresh fast enough to really be there at late game. But I don't know. So it looks like server is down for Lossa. Lossa gonna go ahead and start a little bit of the delay time. That's super unfortunate. World server being down right now. What in the heck?
Yeah, that seems really random. Unfortunate, but that's what you get for being on a backwater server.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know what server is Lossa on. I don't even know.
He's on Tychondrius.
Really? I'm on Tychondrius.
No, he's not.
Oh. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, giving these teams just a few minutes here to get situated, and we'll jump right back into the action. But this is not who is currently playing. This is actually going to be the semifinals that you're looking at right here. But we'll be right back.
Y'all ready for this?
His team is just rotting though. Maldiva doing so much damage to everyone.
Is he a live lord or is he not?
Vanish cheap shot. Can he counter kill? The back comes out. He's gonna die. Kid on the Nesper now. Half HP Nesper pulls it out.
And then he just flops! Are you kidding me? Dude, this Red Paladin team is here to play. Welcome to EU, ladies and gentlemen. Alright guys, since we do have a little bit of delay time, I'm going to utilize this time to shout out some of the awesome people that are supporting us over here at GCD TV. We did receive a few more donations. Of course, Metaphor with that $500 ridiculous amount of donation. We did get a $5 donation from Ripdog TV, letting us know he's a PvP supporter. Thank you so much, Ripdog, man. Free Rectful again with his $4.20 donation, adding another $4.20 donation to the Rectful Defense Initiative. Thank you so much, man. And we did also receive some subscribers. As well, Z Mango has subscribed. Thank you so much, Z Mango. Guilty Gaming. What's up, Guilty? My good buddy Guilty Gaming, good friend of mine. Thank you so much, man, for that subscription. I really do appreciate that, brother. Corey Lala, also a part of the team now. Thank you very much, man, for that subscription, and welcome everybody to the GCD TV family. Really do appreciate all the support, guys. It's unbelievable. The amount of support that we get from the community every single week. It just somehow, some way, just constantly is surprising to me.
It's nice.
Absolutely.
That's what happens, though. It's community rallying around a good cause. You're a good cause, Team Machine.
Oh man, you're gonna make me blush. Yeah, but I mean, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for people believing in us, you know? The people who believe in us is what makes us continue what we're doing. But
first you had to believe in yourself.
You should write a motivational book or something, man. But I think Lossa is actually gonna go ahead and log on to a other warrior, so he has that available to him, which is kind of awesome. I don't have another Rep Paladin log over. I did in Mop.
Am I the only one who feels like punching Venruki?
Wait, why? Why did... That's
awesome.
Messed up, man. I would never punch you, man.
Well, thanks, buddy.
If I ever ended up punching you, maybe like in a drunken stupor or something like that, I would lose sleep for like a week. Like, why? Why did I punch Venruki? What would possibly merit a punch to Venruki? Nothing. We did get another subscription. Oh yeah, Alien 2020 has subscribed to us. Thank you so much, Alien. Welcome to the GCD family, bruh. Appreciate that, man. You are now a part of our Ohana. And according to Clutter, that means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. If you guys didn't know that, the Clutter is actually born and raised in Hawaii.
Ooh.
Isn't that cool?
That is.
Just came all the way from the island of Kauai.
To hang out with you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go there? You don't want to live in Hawaii?
I kind of want to live in Hawaii, to be honest with you, but I heard that they eat a lot of spam and they don't have good internet.
Oh, what?
I know, right?
Spam and bad internet. Who wants to be a part of that? Never mind.
Yeah, you know, just some island paradise. Spam and internet, I'm out. No, but she showed me some pictures of her native land, and I was severely jealous, I have to say. Alright, looks like these teams are finally ready, guys. We're going to jump right into the action once again. Wait, he says we are ready. I didn't say a map. Oh yeah, next map. Oh, okay, so the turbo is actually going to bring it to the Dalaran sewers. Alright, man. Pictures of her native land. I'm done. I'm sorry. Did I offend you? I apologize. I didn't say there was no internet. I just said that the internet potentially could be bad.
That just sounds like a bad time. Is this a best of 3?
This is just a best of 3, man. So for mecah is currently one game away from advancing and knocking out Tony from the Bronx. But Tony from the Bronx only have 2 games to win at the same time to knock out Mecah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like the Turbo had a good strategy. You could see them gaining an advantage as time went on. But like we've seen so many times, bringing it to dampening sometimes can backfire. My perfect example that I always use for that is always the finals of Armageddon skill capped versus 3 Amigos. And it felt like you guys were on the back foot for the longest time, and then you brought it back as well. So it could go either way between these 2 teams. We have Mage, Boomkin, RMPally going up against Arms Warrior, Enhancement, Shaman, Restoration, Druid, and the gates have opened. Here we go.
I think really the only thing this Turbo has going for them is Felorea's mana. So like we were saying, if they can prevent him from getting that huge rink off at such a crucial part of the game, they definitely have a solid chance of winning this. But yeah, they're all gonna leave. But anyways, that's gonna be a huge factor, because I don't think in deep dampening they're really at a disadvantage outside of mana, you know? So if they have enough mana, they definitely have a good shot at winning, just like we saw the last game. If they do get in like a difficult situation, they can just pull back, spam CC. Moonkin's being exceptionally mobile, Mage's being very mobile, and when those Pally wings are up from Felorrea, he's going to have really, really strong healing.
Yeah, so it looks like there was a DC, and these players doing exactly what I asked. So in the rules, if you do have a DC on your team, make sure that everyone who isn't affected by the CC leaves the game as soon as they possibly can, if it's within the 45 seconds of the game starting, just so we know exactly what's going on, and there isn't necessarily like, I don't know, a he said, she said going on. But yeah, worked out very good. And so we're going to jump right into this game once again on Dollar and Sewers. As soon as this team lets me know that they're ready, we'll jump into the next, or Dollar and Sewers will jump into the map once again. Whoa, who has these taco emotes? Wow. Oh,
Those are like, does Taco Bell have a channel?
Does Taco Bell have it? I think they might, man. I've seen a lot of Taco Bell commercials lately on Twitch. They've been talking about their breakfast burrito taco.
On Twitch?
On Twitch, yeah. They've been using like internet celebrities, man, that people like on Twitch and stuff like that for their commercials. It's actually kind of cool. Swift Door is one of them.
I don't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Those really are Taco Bell emotes, huh?
I'm going to be real with you, Van. If you were on a Taco Bell commercial telling me to go buy a breakfast burrito, I probably would go buy a breakfast burrito.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're super knowledgeable about nutrition and stuff like that. I'll be like, all right.
Yeah.
Time to go get a taco.
That's what Taco Bell is. Right.
Yeah. It is delicious, though.
It is delicious. I gotta thank you once again, man, for recommending putting peanut butter on my chocolate chip waffles. I shook it a step further, though, and did decide to put the maple syrup on as well, so peanut butter. Oh, man, it was good.
It sounds so good. I'm so hungry now, but the gates have opened. Once again, Asbur running in. He's going to start getting his dots up on all these people, Gossu and Lossa. Looking for that Cyclone. He's actually going to get sheared on that, though. Mageiden also building up those icicles with his Frostbolts going out. Even Felorrea getting in on the action with the Denounces coming out, but Mageiden getting chunked here by the Recklesses coming out from Lossa. Lossa charging back. I think they are cleaving down the pet. Yeah, they are going on the pet with that Recklessness at this point. Supatease put into that Deep Freeze, the Hodge on the Gossu, the Solar Beam even landing on a Gossu, but he's going to trinket that and press that Shaman Rage to prevent this setup right here. That was the Celestial Alignment coming out from Asbur. Asbur now taking a bit of pressure from the Turbo.
I think Mageiden, what he should do is just when he summons his Water Elemental, just shove it behind a pillar with Felorrea, and if they want to overextend to kill it, great. Now Mageiden can do whatever he wants, but he's just making it a little too easy for them to kill it. Yeah. And he really only needs it every 30 seconds for that Pet Nova. So he could be a little bit more conservative if he wanted to, and it looks like that is their main target. Mageiden blinking and blazing speed across the entire map to get the Deep Sheep onto Supatease. Lossa throwing the Stormbolt onto him, but he does trinket that right away, so he can get that Sheep off onto Supatease. The Supatease actually having to trinket that there, so definitely worth Mageiden using his trinket to force Supateases there, and then we're able to get a decent setup on Gossu. Lossa getting cycloned up by Asbur at the moment. Gossu going to be completely fine with every HOT imaginable on him at the moment. Mageiden trying to clean him up with some spell steals, but this Turbo Cleave really doesn't have that much pressure. Once again, the Water Elemental just sitting there eating that wrecked Blade Storm from Lossa, but Felorrea doing a good job of topping it off and keeping it alive for now. Supatease getting swapped to by Mageiden and Asbur, but he's going to be completely fine, shoving them back with that Typhoon, and he's just going to be able to line of sight and get away with just his Barkskin there. But now he's in a position where he has no Barkskin and no Trinket, so they might be able to capitalize on that. Gossu also has no Trinket, so if they can cross CC Gossu at the same time they get a full stun on Supatease, they could actually kill him if they want to capitalize on that.
Yeah, Felorrea does have that Fist of Justice up. If they can make this setup happen, there's a deep freeze onto Supatease, and as we're talking about that, the Solar Beam goes out. Supatease into that DR Hodge and just getting chunked into the triple DR bash. Solar Beam still on him. Rallying Cry coming out as well. Gossu in that Solar Beam, and Supatease is going to catch a break to be able to put that Iron Bark on himself. But that was so scary coming out from Supatease. Just one extra crit coming out from that team would have ended Supatease's life, but he's going to be okay for now. Now Supatease in that cat form, he wants to punish this team now that everything has happened. Gossu taking a bit of pressure from this Mage Boomkin team. That's Saved by the Light did proc on Mageiden. Asbur even dipping down lower and lower at 44% health here. He is in that Barkskin though. He should be okay. Gossu in that Hodge. He's going to Sham Rage out of it. Supatease does have Nature Swiftness and Barkskin available to him. Or Nature Swiftness coming back in 20 seconds. Excuse me. Asbur trinketing and actually getting locked out on that Cyclone. Both teams kind of stabilizing for now. The Sham Rage finally falling off of Gossu here. They might want to look for a setup here pretty soon. Asbur pulling back with Felorrea, just getting into a better position. But Mageiden, I feel like not having that pet is a gigantic deal, but the Hand of Sacrifice getting dispelled off of Mageiden instantly from Felorrea. Those hand abilities just don't do all that much against an Enhancement Shaman, but he does have 5 Icicles up ready to make the setup. But is he going to have to be put into a block here? Felorrea not in any CC. Mageiden using this Icy Veins. He wants to get offensive. The Hodge goes out onto Gossu, but he's going to get dispelled on it from Supatease's Trinket.
I actually DC'd from the game, so...
Okay, I shall continue. Supatease put into that full Cyclone. Gossu still has that Iron Bark on him. It's just going to fall off now. So Gossu is still taking a bit of damage from this team. Even Denounce is coming out from Felorrea onto all of these players. But I'm not sure if I feel like Gossu is the right kill target for this Mage Boomkin Paladin team, because I mean, between the Iron Bark and the Sham Rage, Supatease and Gossu are doing a great job rotating through these defensive cooldowns, just negating all the pressure. But Mageiden now blinking in, getting that deep freeze onto Supatease. Supatease in travel form though, so he can't get polyed up on it. The bash goes out onto Gossu. Gossu taking so much pressure right now. He does have the Sham Rage available to him, but he's holding on to it for now. Mageiden now at 50% health here. He's going to catch that Execution Sentence and be topped completely fine out of that. The Maelspellar Fight coming out from Felorrea is going to go ahead and Cyclone up Asbur and his own Cyclone. And Felorrea trying to get away from Supatease. Supatease looking to get some CC out onto Felorrea. Asbur put into that Stormbolt, getting chunked down and forced to use that Barkskin. Shadow Meld coming out from Asbur as well. This team's looking for the setup. Gossu currently using his Sham Rage at this point. He knows he's a bit overextended, but he's completely fine. And Supatease does have that Iron Bark available to him as well. So the Turbo constantly sitting safe. You know, Asbur being put into that full Cyclone at relatively low health here, at 60% health. Felorrea sitting in a good position, making sure to keep his team up completely fine. But I mean, this Turbo is starting to cleave down, and we just hit 1% dampening, and this is where they really have their advantage. Iron Bark going out onto Gossu, and this is the Orb coming out from Mageiden, but he's going to be put into that full Hex from Gossu. The Fear goes out onto Felorrea. Asbur could be in a bit of trouble here. Saved by the Light gonna proc, and Felorrea is forced to Trinket and use that Execution Sentence at this point. And at 3% dampening, the advantage is going to go deeper and deeper in favor of this Turbo. But as I say that, the Hodge goes out onto Gossu, the deep onto Supatease, into the beam. Gossu could go down. He doesn't have Sham Rage for 5 more seconds. The bash onto Lossa, but he got the Rallying Cry off right before it. Even Denounce is coming out onto Gossu. The full Polymorph lands onto Supatease. He's just going to Trinket out of that, but he doesn't have a Nature Swiftness or anything available for Gossu for quite a while. If they can just continue this pressure, Gossu will in fact go down, but it looks like Supatease is doing a good job keeping Gossu alive for now. And there's the full Polymorph polymorph onto Lossa, trying to stop the pressure onto Asbur. Mageiden now running in with that blazing speed, getting that deep freeze, trying to land that ring. He does land the ring full onto Supatease, but the offensive pressure is just not there for mecah at this point. Now Mageiden looking to be on the back foot. He's dipping down to 10% health there, and he is forced to use that ice block. Cold snap coming out as well. He's not going to be greedy at all, but Asbur dipping to 40% health is going to get lay on hands or execution sentenced by Felorrea, keeping him alive no problem. But it looks like Asbur might be DC'd, which would be very, very bad considering we're well over 45 seconds into the game at this point. But yeah, we are at 11% dampening. If Asbur does in fact DC, that is just going to be a loss for mecah. So I really hope that he doesn't. I really hope he's able to come back.
Yeah, it would be a shame if it would end up tying up the series 1-1. So it's not like they'd be out of the tournament completely, but it looks like they're letting him heal up. Like Felorrea is actually getting the cast heals on him.
All right, so it looks like he's back.
But now Asper's back, and it looks like they're swapping onto Supatease instantly, trying to kill him. So I guess they're trying to make the most of what they can by killing Supatease. Asper now back, so I guess they were a little bit annoyed that they were actually targeting down Asper there, and they wanted to get the quick kill on a Supatease, but Supatease manages to survive. Felorrea pulling back to the pillar. Supatease actually throwing out all of his trends to keep his team stable and offensive. And I mean, last game it took 60% dampening for either team to score a kill. We're currently at 17%, so we could see this game going up to another 6 or 7 minutes potentially. Mageiden still the target of choice. They're targeting him down. He doesn't have his. Oh, he does have his water elemental available, so they weren't quite able to kill it at the moment. Gossu taking a little bit of damage, down to around 40% HP. Polymorphs coming out from Mageiden. Felorrea spamming out those denounces onto Gossu. He's trying to get offensive. He doesn't have to heal too much right now. He wants to get the damage out onto Gossu as much as possible. Asper getting targeted, having to pull back defensively for a little bit. And this team, Mage, Boomkin, Pally for mecah, is pulling back, trying to get sort of a reset.
Man, I feel like Gossu's a bit vulnerable here. No, Felorrea, though, going for that drink. He's going to get interrupted on it, but Gossu doesn't have a Shaman range for 22 more seconds, and Supatease doesn't have an Iron Bark for 20 seconds, or Nature Swiftness for 30, so there's the Hodge onto Gossu, the Deep Freeze ring onto Supa. Supa's just going to trinket and get his Trents out. He knows that Gossu could be in a bit of trouble here. The Orb coming out as well. Save of the Light is going to proc on Felorrea, but Gossu at 50% health here. He's going to have Shaman range in 3 more seconds, and it looks like he's going to be able to make it there, no problem. Mass Speller Fight coming out from Lossa, trying to prevent any of the CC coming out from the Mage, Boomkin, RMPally. But, I mean, Felorrea, he's even spamming out these announces, trying to get offensive. The Iron Bar going out on a Gossu is going to keep him completely fine. And now 25% dampening. The pressure starting to be on this Mage Boomkin team, as the consistent damage from Lossa and Gossu is very, very high. But that's the full polymorph onto Supatease. And Gossu does have that Shaman range available to him, but he's still fine using those self-heals on himself as well. Supatease coming out of that CC, going to Nature Swiftness him up the full. But Felorrea forced to use that bubble. I'm not even sure. I wasn't even paying attention, but Felorrea just getting dipped down and forced to use that bubble. And now Mageiden on the back foot at 38% healthier. Is this going to be another block? He dipped down to 12% healthier. He's trying to get away. Execution sentence coming out from Felorrea, but still Mageiden could be in a bit of trouble. Now Felorrea put into that Storm Bolt. He's forced to trinket and use his Aura Mastery. Or I'm sorry, not a trinket, it's just DR.
Yeah, absolutely. Lossa actually caught into the roots now. Asper doing a great job peeling Lossa off, and Lossa's been in a lot of trouble actually right now.
Whoa!
Gets dipped down, overextends a little bit there, and gets caught into the stun and just killed from Asper and Mageiden. That was incredible.
That was unbelievable, man. What the heck? Yeah, so let's take a quick look at that replay and see exactly what happened. Now keep an eye on Lossa. Lossa was the kill target there on that swap. I mean, looking at Mageiden and Felorrea, Felorrea didn't have anything but a bop left, and against an Enhancement Shaman, that's not that big a deal. But the Hodge onto Lossa, look where he's getting set up. He's in battle stance, or I'm sorry, yeah, not battle stance, but I believe. Wait, what stance is it actually called?
Battle stance.
It is battle stance. Okay, I don't know why I was second guessing myself there, but being caught in a stun in that stance, big deal, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it 20. I think it's 20% more damage.
Yeah.
Actually come down with the bad manner flags after.
All right, so there it is. That is going to be a quick 2-0 for Team